Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Qiaoyingzi. Shenhao Rebate, start with Aunt Wenjie. Fang Shuo has traveled through time and has an aunt named Tong Wenjie. I am a dedicated man, and I will always love 18-year-old girls. For example, Qiaoyingzi, Huang Zhitao, Wang Yidi. Wait, Aunt Wenjie, don't use your teeth. Fang Shuo grinned and said, I was wrong earlier. Actually, I like Yujie. Get a divine level check.in system and reach the pinnacle of your life. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Tong Wenjie's Care. Divine level check.in system. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Please make way, please make way. Fang Shuo slowly opened his eyes and was poked behind him. He made way for a position on his side. The old man gave a glance to the child and led the chubby little boy towards the supermarket. Fang Shuo pressed his slightly dazed mind with his hand, trying to recall. Last night, I worked overtime until late at night. After work, I returned to the rental house and lay down without even taking off my shoes. Open your eyes again, that's all for this place. As my brain became clearer, I walked outside the men's clothing store and looked at the full-body mirror in the store. He has a tall and thin appearance, a handsome and delicate appearance, wearing a slightly faded school uniform and carrying a rough backpack as a student figure. Fang Shuo, a high school student in Fuzhou who is about to advance to the third year of high school. It's 4 p.m. now, and the high school students in Kyoto are still in class. But he just came to Kyoto to seek refuge with someone. Ding ding ding. Take out the phone that keeps ringing from your pocket. Aunt Wenjie is calling. Shuo, have you arrived in Kyoto yet? I'm sorry, Aunt Wenjie has a meeting to attend later. Your uncle Fang Yuan is also busy with work today, so he doesn't have time to pick you up. Where are you now? Shuo, how long will it take to get home? I'll go back after the meeting to cook delicious food for you and Fang Yifan. Outside the conference room, Tong Wenjie was dressed in black professional attire, highlighting her well-maintained fair skin while also outlining her slender and graceful figure. In addition, the black high heels under the scallion white soles of her feet make her capable image as a Fortune 500 female director come to life. But when she said these words to her phone, she frowned slightly, pursed her mouth to one side, and held a vase in her right hand. Here we are, Auntie, don't worry, I'll be back soon. Stepping out of the supermarket, my eyes searched for the bus stop. Shuo, we'll discuss the specific details when you come back. Aunt Wenjie is going to a meeting now, so please be careful on your way back. Tong Wenjie watched as more and more people in the conference room flickered between her eyes and her phone screen. I will, Auntie, let's go to the meeting. The calm voice of Fang Shuo on the phone made Tong Wenjie feel much more at ease. Her eyebrows relaxed and she took a breath forward. That's it, call Auntie if you have something to do. Hanging up the phone, Tong Wenjie quickly pressed her phone, then skillfully opened the meeting mode and wiped the corner of her eyes. Shuo, this child still cares about me at this time. Xiao Feng, Shuo is a good child. She walked to the bathroom, looked at the mirror and put away the warmth in her eyes, then tucked away her sleeves. With a serious expression, he walked out of the bathroom and strode open the door of the conference room. The meeting began, and Tong Wenjie sat upright in a chair, carefully listening to the data in her notebook. Exquisite and mature facial features, slender neck slightly sliding, and a touch of snow white on the black V neck swaying along with it. But soon, she began to stare at the hallway outside the conference room. Has Shuo got on the car now? Will he accept the money transferred? Will he be too shy to take money and take the bus? Tong Wenjie, is the corridor so beautiful? She withdrew her gaze and looked at the podium. Wenjie has also been a backbone of our group for many years. Let Wenjie talk about the reasons for the decline in sales this quarter. As the saying goes, everyone around us is focused on Tong Wenjie. She froze for a while before stuttering slightly into her notebook for analysis. On the street, Fang Shuo still held his old phone and headed towards the bus station, his gaze calm. Occasionally, the K-pop on the street falls off, evoking memories. Fang Cheng died of cancer early on, and Li Feng took Fang Shuo alone. A few days ago, Li Feng unfortunately had a car accident. I became an orphan myself. Fortunately, Tong Wenjie called as soon as she learned the news. Walking to the bus stop, Fang Shuo put his backpack aside and sat down. Opening the phone, I saw the location and a transfer sent by Tong Wenjie. Master, take this money with you. There's still 1 year left for the college entrance examination. Don't think too much, Auntie will take care of anything. Love you. JPG. Fang Shuo felt a hint of warmth. Looking at the real-time bus on my phone, there is still 1 stop left for boarding. Ding. The divine level clock in system is being activated. Active, successfully activated the divine level check that in system. System. Fang Shuo was slightly taken aback, with a bright smile on his face. A must-have for travelers. God level check that in system. Service tenet, allowing hosts to enjoy a happy life. System function. Daily check that in, as long as the host checks in and signs in every day, they can receive system rewards. Do you want to start the first check that in? Ding. First successful check that in. Congratulations to the host for receiving a reward. 20 million yuan in bank deposit. 1 set of Thompson first-class villa in Kyoto 2nd Ring Road. The mechanical sound of the system in his mind finished playing, and Fang Shuo's mouth curled up. I bumped into my pants pocket, still empty, and turned my gaze to the nearby backpack. Turn down the tone of the phone prompt and use the extra light of your eyes to see that there is no one around. He cautiously opened a small opening in his backpack. There is an additional black card and a red notebook inside. Grasp it with your hand and take it to the mouth of your backpack. The black card is a bank black card, and the red notebook is his property certificate. Fang Shuo took a light breath. There's no need to rely on others now. Release your hand and zip up your backpack. Turning his gaze to the road again, the 996 bus has arrived at the station. Your balance has been credited to 200,000, midnight yuan. A faint arrival prompt sound came from the phone. There are 20 million yuan lying in the bank account, even in Kyoto, where there are many wealthy people. They are like dragons and phoenixes on earth. Many small and medium-sized enterprises have a valuation of several hundred million when it comes to valuation. However, when it comes to cash flow in an account, it may only be a few million. And most likely, there are also loans and liabilities. But in Fang Shuo's hands, there are actually 20 million. No foam. And if you want to bring the first-class villa of Thompson on the 2nd Ring Road of Kyoto, it is even more heavyweight. Kyoto 2nd Ring Road, conservatively estimated at 1 square meter, at least 30 are also required. But the property certificate says 500 square meters. In terms of valuation, that would be at least 150 million yuan. Moreover, this is a villa within the 2nd Ring Road of Kyoto, one of the few villas in the country that needs to be purchased by lottery. It can be said that this set of Tang Chenipin is an absolute symbol of identity, wealth, and even social status. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Blushing childlike innocence. Fluffy bath towel. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fang Shuo used Didi to drive a business car and prepared to go directly to Tong Wenjie's house. The leather seat cushions of business vehicles and the constantly refreshing negative ion air inside the car are very comfortable. He breathed a sigh of relief, according to Xiao Huanqi's consumption level, he can also be considered a small tycoon. Fang Shuo brushes the sound of the battle. Shuo, Auntie has returned home after the meeting, and the key is placed under the mat at the door. Just open the door when you come back. Pushing open the door, Tong Wenjie sent a voice message and took out her 2 fair and rosy jade feet from her black high heels. When 2 small feet, slightly sweaty and rosy from wearing high heels for too long, stepped on the cold marble ground, Tong Wenjie breathed a sigh of relief. After changing into slippers, she took off her black professional attire, revealing her pure white and delicate fragrant shoulders. I was named and criticized during today's meeting, and I'm not in a good mood. Tong Wenjie is going to take a shower first, but she can't let Fang Shuo just come and look at her with a stinky face. She took the towel and walked into the bathroom. Her fair and slender arms set one piece of clothing after another aside. Take off your black professional attire and look in the mirror at your well-maintained and snow-white figure like an 18 girl. Tong Wenjie posed a few poses in front of the mirror, her delicate curves still captivating. Even due to the preference of time and the experience of the old ways, she has added a unique mature charm to her body. Marrying Fang Yuan is considered lucky in his life. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happy to find a little milk dog with my sister's figure. Little milk dog, she suddenly thought of Fang Shuo, whom she hadn't seen in some days, and stopped her narcissism. Turn on the switch, hot water falls onto every piece of skin that seems to have been soaked in milk. Fang Shuo took a car to the downstairs of Tong Wenjie's house and calmly got off the car under the envious gaze of the driver. Entering the building, the elevator leads directly to the front of the house. He walked up to the door and instinctively made a knocking posture. In an instant, he remembered Aunt Wenjie telling him that the key was placed under the mat in front of the door. Fang Shuo found the key from the mat. Push open the door, he saw a child coming out of the bathroom. After years of moisturizing with skincare products, the skin appears as white and delicate as milk, with a pair of agile big eyes and a delicate face full of elasticity just after bathing. At the slender neck of the swan, water droplets slid slightly, slowly flowing to her fair and prominent shoulder blades, and then down came exquisite and graceful lines. From the perspective of body shape and skin, even an 18-year-old girl is not at odds. Even, because she has been a woman for many years, she exudes a unique beauty that exudes a sense of conquest from her experiences and identity symbols at all times. Hey, Shuo, you're here, it's quite fast, you came back by taxi, are you hungry? Do you want Auntie to cook some food for you first to cushion your stomach? As soon as Tong Wenjie saw Fang Shuo, she became excited and began to ask for warmth and comfort. She sympathizes very much with this best friend's son. At the age of 18, there is still 1 year left before the college entrance examination. As a result, both parents have passed away, and there is even a lawsuit on the mother's side. Therefore, as soon as she saw Fang Shuo, she tried her best to care, so that he can feel at home. Hello Auntie, I'm not hungry for the time being. Fang Shuo was slightly taken aback, looking at the young refined child with short hair and a carefree face in front of him. My calm heart twitched slightly. At this time, Tong Wenjie only had a not too thick towel to cover her body. Her snow-white fragrant shoulders, graceful figure, and even the slightly raised part of the towel cover make people subconsciously generate infinite imagination. At the end of the day, he is still a middle-aged man. My gaze followed Tong Wenjie's bath towel downwards, with two snow-white and slender thighs in an astonishing proportion, complemented by the delicate lines that the towel could conceal. The slight water droplets on her legs further demonstrate her care for her legs. Looking at the golden ratio of two long white legs and a pair of pink and shiny feet in front of me. As a young man of only 18 years old, he was in his prime of vitality. Even if he has a much more mature mind than his peers, it is inevitable that he has a different kind of palpitations in his heart. Shuo, if you're hungry, just say it directly. This is my own home, there's no need to be so reserved. Tong Wenjie still worries that Fang Shuo may have a psychological attachment to others. She was holding a towel in one hand and walking to the open kitchen, searching for food. Perhaps just after taking a shower, her body was full of moisture. As she walked past Fang Shuo, the sunlight outside the window sprinkled a charming golden hue on her milky white skin. The fragrance of jasmine in the shower gel permeated his side with a hint of bodily fragrance. Fang Shuo, who had been tired of traveling for a long time, felt extremely relaxed. Seeing that Tong Wenjie had not changed clothes yet, he spoke up. "Auntie, I'm not really hungry." As he spoke, he sat on the side very naturally, took a glass of water, poured it out, and started drinking. Tong Wenjie saw Fang Shuo's relaxed expression, and her heart stabilized a lot. But the etiquette education she received from childhood to adulthood still required her to take out a bag of bread. Walk over to the bread maker and bend slightly, placing the bread in the bread maker. Fang Shuo also withdrew his gaze from the window, but when he saw Tong Wenjie's back slightly bent over and his bathrobe pulled up, the water cup in his hand stopped for a while. Under the pure white bathrobe, there was no clothing blocking his gaze. Although slim in stature, it still has a curvaceous appearance. Under the nourishment of women for many years, the rounded area remains pink and tender like a young girl. The occasional swaying is even more mouth-watering. "That, Auntie, I'll do it myself." Fang Shuo suppressed the flames in his heart and politely spoke up. As he spoke, he walked towards Tong Wenjie. "After sitting in the car for so long, Shuo, take a break. Just let Auntie come and handle this matter." Tong Wenjie lifted Fang Shuo's outstretched hand away with her fair, slender, and shiny arms. This made the already stable barrier above her towel loosen directly. Standing beside Tong Wenjie, Fang Shuo calmly swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Tong Wenjie, who had placed the bread, retreated and directly rubbed against Fang Shuo. Tong Wenjie had not yet realized that the hem of the towel had already been sewn. Just waving your hand with a smile to apologize. But Fang Shuo was fouled by such a physical violation from her smooth position. Unconsciously activated the standing stick mode. Seeing the bread being heated, Tong Wenjie prepared to pour him a glass of juice. Upon seeing this, Fang Shuo spoke directly to Aunt Wenjie, "Please change your clothes first." "Hey, it's okay, just pour a drink." Tong Wenjie opened the refrigerator and took out the orange juice, then turned around. The opening sways as the curve of the triangle curves along with the hem. She looked at Fang Shuo, who had to tilt his head to one side. Tong Wenjie saw Fang Shuo waving his head and frowning slightly. Looking down, I realized that the towel was incredibly fluffy, and there was a big slit in the hem. Her face turned red like a burning cloud outside the window, and she immediately covered her towel tightly and ran towards the bedroom. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Trendy Spicy Mom and Gentle Children. Loose Stools. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh my God, have I been like this all along? Just now lock the door, pull the curtains, and Tong Wenjie looks at the hem of the towel. Gasping for breath, eyes down, she awkwardly closed her eyes. This is also too awkward. After taking a long breath, Tong Wenjie took off the towel. Throw the towel on the bed, open the wardrobe, and start taking plain clothes. The snow-white slender and exquisite body in the room was like a flower in a bud that no one could see. She instinctively picked up her usual casual clothes and prepared to put them on. After a while, she knocked on her head with her clothes. Unconsciously, Fang Shuo's gaze just appeared in his mind, and he kept saying it wasn't troublesome. Thinking of this, she picked up her underwear from the side. A layer of lace edge slowly hangs on the pure white skin, and the redness is slowly covered. Tong Wenjie is much more at ease. Change into casual clothes and carefully look at the full-body mirror by the bed for a while. Although he is over 40 years old, his demeanor remains the same. Take a deep breath and pull the door of the wardrobe closed. Outside the door, Fang Shuo saw Tong Wenjie enter the room. Take a deep breath and slowly return to calmness. But people have 3 anxieties. Therefore, he calmly walked into the bathroom. Pressing the button, Fang Shuo let out a slight sigh. After calming down, take a casual glance. See the clothes hanging next to me. On top of the sleek black professional attire, there are lace black trimmed underwear, which seems very innovative in style. It's very similar to the supermodel in the lingerie store in the mall. Aunt Wenjie is quite keeping up with the trend. Fang Shuo's mouth slightly curled up. Immediately, he pushed open the door to the bathroom. In the room, a white and tender jade hand with visible veins grabbed the doorknob. Tong Wenjie swallowed a mouthful of water, lowered her head, and her eyes kept moving back and forth. We all have to face it, and Shuo just reminded me. He is a sensible child. She comforted herself. Immediately, the door slowly opened. Go out, the bathroom door is still open. She walked to the bathroom, ready to close the door. However, in the bathroom, Fang Shuo was staring at the clothes she had just taken off. Ah! Tong Wenjie's pupils quickly dilated, and one of her subordinates covered her open red lips with consciousness. She looked at Fang Shuo, who had grown to a height of 1.8 meters and was now an adult, staring at the clothes she had just taken off. On the black medium V professional top and a pair of black slim-fitting pants, she carefully selected the latest style of lace black edge underwear. The unique design combines comfort and aesthetics, and with this set of equipment, she has made Fang Yuan obedient more than once. But when this set of equipment was placed on her usual professional attire, there seemed to be an indescribable feeling. However, Fang Shuo is the son of her best friend. Tong Wenjie's face, which had finally turned slightly pale, once again turned fiery red. Aunt Wenjie, are you okay? Fang Shuo looked at her and asked calmly. No, it's okay. Well, I'll take the clothes to the washing machine first. Tong Wenjie regained her senses and used her hands to comb through her disheveled hair that had just been washed. After combing, her delicate face appeared a bit more charming. Fang Shuo nodded at the sight and walked sideways past Tong Wenjie. As the two crossed and passed, his mouth lightly tapped Tong Wenjie's ear. Her hair still emits a fresh fragrance of shampoo. After Fang Shuo left, Tong Wenjie immediately put away all the clothes she had changed. Put it in the washing machine next to the bedroom. Then I went to the kitchen to start cooking dinner. After thawing the beef from the refrigerator, mix it with spices and stir-fry the meat. While frying the meat, she suddenly remembered that she had not yet put on the kitchen scarf. Shuo, Auntie can't hold this hand. Can you help Auntie put it on? Upon hearing this, Fang Shuo put down his phone and walked over. Take off the kitchen apron and walk behind Tong Wenjie. At this time, Tong Wenjie was wearing loose casual clothes with long sleeves and pants. But as she slightly bent down to stir-fry, her figure still highlighted her delicate and graceful curves. Especially behind, the air is still filled with fragrant water vapor just after taking a shower. Fang Shuo also slightly bent down, but as Tong Wenjie cooked, his shoulders surrounded her delicate waist. After being surrounded, it even touched the roundness. Hush! I need to hurry up. Fang Shuo took a small step back, and the apron had already tied around Tong Wenjie's waist. He started tying knots on his apron. In front of her, Tong Wenjie swayed gracefully as she stir-fried the dishes. The round and smooth pearls behind are even more beautiful in the world. Her slightly raised curve stands out particularly in her slender figure, making people feel ambiguous. Tong Wenjie didn't think much. She looked at the cooked steak, beat the eggs, and the bubbling hot oil made her take a step back. At this step, she burst into Fang Shuo's arms with her whole body. Fang Shuo, who had originally tied her apron, wrapped his hands around her sharp waist, and for a moment, a touch came from behind. Make her pretty face turn red. I'm still young, but I have quite a lot of skills. Auntie's figure the maintenance is still very thorough. With the touch of Tong Wenjie, Fang Shuo's mouth also felt a bit dry. Tie an apron for Tong Wenjie and he asks with concern. Aunt Wenjie, why don't I come? No need, you've been in the car for so long today. Hurry up and go rest. Alright, I'll call you. Tong Wenjie was somewhat moved in her heart, but as the head of the family, still rejected Fang Shuo. Seeing her so resolute, Fang Shuo nodded slightly. Returned to the living room. Tong Wenjie watched as the egg mixture gradually spread onto the juicy beef. Shuo, this child has really good genes. Children are indeed stronger than the older generation now. She blushed slightly on her pretty face, then shook her head and let out a bitter smile. How old a person is, it's not embarrassing. Shuo, wash your hands and eat. Prepare the food, Tong Wenjie shouted to Fang Shuo in the living room. When she arrived at the dining table, she said to Fang Shuo. Shuo, your uncle Fang Yuan is going to work overtime tonight. As for Fang Yifan, he's far from school and it will take some time to come back. Let's eat first, Fang Shuo nodded and picked up the bowls and chopsticks. Shuo, some things are not something we can decide, life is like this. Today looks terrible, maybe it will get better tomorrow. Don't worry, focus on your studies first. Auntie will handle other things well. Come on, eat the vegetables. Tong Wenjie comforted Fang Shuo in soft words. After speaking, she put a piece of beef into Fang Shuo's bowl. Thank you, Auntie. I understand. Fang Shuo remained calm. Study, learn the bullshit. After learning 985, why don't we still treat capitalists like dogs? No shortage of money. Well, as long as you understand, you can stay at Auntie's house for now. Dear Mr. Fang Shuo, hello. The ownership of your Tangchen first-class villa has been transferred. Before Tong Wenjie could finish her words of concern, she was interrupted by Fang Shuo's phone beep. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. The Charming Triangle of Tong Wenjie, Qiaoyingzi. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Tong Wenjie's pupils seemed to see an earthquake. Her mouth was slightly opened in shock at this moment. Fang Shuo calmly wiped his mouth and turned off his phone screen. Speak calmly too. Thank you, Auntie, but no need, I have a house to live in temporarily. Without hesitation, Fang Shuo continued to eat as if nothing had happened. Tong Wenjie tidied up her expression and glanced left and right. Questioning tentatively. Oh, that's it. So Shuo, where do you live? Is it far from the school? Fang Shuo stopped his chopsticks and said, not far, it's near the school. Upon hearing these words, Tong Wenjie nodded slightly and leaned back on the seat. Scratched the suspender under the plain clothes. Wearing tight underwear under her comfortable plain clothes made her feel a bit uncomfortable. I think too much. She looked at Fang Shuo who was eating seriously. Auntie, go to the bathroom and have a good meal. Fang Shuo nodded. Tong Wenjie returned to the bedroom and took off her loose clothes. Revealing an incredibly charming figure, clearly over 40 years old. But her skin is still as fragile as a baby, thanks to countless body creams and other skincare products in the bedroom. Skilled in taking off Loren's underwear, his smooth and white toes stepped on the cold marble floor one after another. After taking off, she felt unparalleled freedom and changed into plain clothes again. Tong Wenjie only realized the comfort from home. Just as she was about to leave, she was still a bit worried. She walked up to the full-body mirror, twisted her waist, and showed her agile figure. Not prominent, it's okay. Returning to the dining table, Tong Wenjie looked at Fang Shuo's quiet eating appearance and delicate face. Unconsciously supporting his head with his hand, he looked at him with a smile. "Auntie, won't you eat it?" Fang Shuo realized her gaze. Tong Wenjie let out a cry and started eating. With a clatter, Fang Shuo's chopsticks accidentally fell under the table. He squatted down to pick up chopsticks. When he picked up the chopsticks and looked up, he saw Tong Wenjie sitting across from him. At this moment, his two fair and pink feet were taken out of his slippers. Riding on his slippers, his scallion white instep had pink smooth toes in front of him, and as he went up, he suddenly saw some awkward gaps. At this moment, it is very obvious that the charming triangular area is still slightly shaking as Tong Wenjie eats. Seeing this scene, Fang Shuo's eyes were slightly surprised. Is Aunt Wenjie so free at home? Since the lower body is not worn, then the upper body. Thinking of this, Fang Shuo immediately withdrew his gaze. Pick up chopsticks and stand up. Watching Tong Wenjie eat, her body leaned forward slightly, leaning against the table. Under her plain clothes, Zhuyuan Yuruan stood on the table, shaking as she ate. Fang Shuo suddenly felt a slight warmth in his lower body. That's really it. Sigh. He turned his gaze back to the rice bowl in front of him. Tong Wenjie was a bit puzzled. Why did she use chopsticks for so long? Also, what is he looking at? Suddenly, a blush appeared on her fair face. I just returned to the room and changed my underwear. Thinking of this, Tong Wenjie immediately averted her gaze from Fang Shuo. Don't think too much, Shuo is just a child. He was all grown up by me, so I must have misunderstood him. Ding dong. Upon hearing the doorbell, Tong Wenjie was about to get up. Fang Shuo made a stop gesture to her, got up, and walked to the door. Opening the door, I saw her pure high ponytail tied and her peaceful smile. The slight protrusion on the white shirt behind both hands. And a pair of slender, fair calves under the most charming pleated skirt of my student days. The white pile of socks looks cute, and there are two cartoon bears on a pair of cute leather shoes. Hello, is this Fang Yifun's home? Qiaoyingzi poked her head inside and saw Tong Wenjie at the dining table. Immediately retract your small head and smile at Fang Shuo. Fang Shuo. Qiaoyingzi. Fang Shuo smiled and reached out his hand, while Qiaoyingzi looked at the handsome boy in front of her. The corners of her mouth opened slightly, and she smiled sweetly, extending her delicate and white hand. After shaking hands, Qiaoyingzi followed Fang Shuo in. Unexpectedly, Qiaoyingzi slipped and was about to fall. Upon seeing this, Fang Shuo extended his hand and directly embraced Qiaoyingzi in his arms. Qiaoyingzi, lying in Fang Shuo's arms, had a pitiful look in her eyes, and her fair face was dyed with a touch of peach red. This texture not right. His hands pinched slightly, and Qiaoyingzi's small gaze in his arms became even more endearing. The small crispy buns slightly bulging on Qiaoyingzi's white shirt and the white peach inside her slim and pleated skirt were both controlled by Fang Shuo at this moment. Upon seeing this, Fang Shuo immediately helped Qiaoyingzi up. Cough, are you okay? Qiaoyingzi looked at the blush on Fang Shuo's face and pouted. It's okay. On one side, Tong Wenjie took out chopsticks and bowls from the kitchen. Yingzi, come and have dinner. This is Fang Shuo, a student who transferred to Chunfeng Middle School. I am my godson. Qiaoyingzi's eyes lit up. Oh, so what Teacher Li Meng said about the new classmate is you. Please give me more guidance. Qiaoyingzi smiled and waved her hand to the other person. After listening, Fang Shuo smiled and nodded before returning to calmness. Qiaoyingzi pouted. What a cold and handsome guy. Aunt Wenjie, I heard from Fang Ho that you are moving to Shuxiang Yayuan. Have you found a house yet? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Qiaoyingzi's Wink. A Twisted Child's Essay. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Tong Wenjie looked at Qiaoyingzi's lively little eyes. This. Fan wants to move to Xuxiangyayuan, but the rent there is not very suitable. Moreover, I only lived here for a year and I have to move in. I can't rent out so much furniture here. Qiaoyingzi nodded and then spoke with a, you understand, smile. Auntie, don't worry. Fang Ho's goods are for Tao Zi. Tong Wenjie has some doubts. Tao Zi. Is that the girl who stood on the podium to speak at the beginning of school? Upon hearing this, Qiaoyingzi gave a brilliant smile. Yes, it's her. Fang Monkey saw Tao Zi returning home with Ji Yangyang, who also lives in the Xuxiangyayuan, these days. It's so sour tisk, she doesn't mind the big picture when it's lively. After speaking, she also glanced at Fang Shuo next to him, who was not serious about speaking or laughing. A handsome and aloof boy, who is both handsome and aloof, has no resistance to Qiaoyingzi during his adolescence. Qiaoyingzi pursed her lips slightly. It doesn't matter whether Fang Monkey moves or not, it would be great if Fang Shuo could move over. Hello, Fang Yifan. He told me yesterday when he came home that it's close to home, he can study for an extra 2 hours. Surprisingly, it's for dating. Look at him coming back tonight, I won't suffocate him. Tong Wenjie knew the whole story and remembered these days when Fang Yifan pretended to study all morning without sleeping. I installed a burning lamp and read at night, so I was waiting for her here. Not to mention him, Yingzi, Shuo, eat. Qiaoyingzi nodded happily at the thought of watching a good show. After finishing the meal, Qiaoyingzi put the study notes that Fang Yifan wanted on the table. Aunt Wenjie, I put the notes that Fang Monkey asked me for on the table. Good. Won't you sit for a while longer? In the kitchen, Tong Wenjie washed dishes politely. No, I have to go home and write my paper. After finishing speaking loudly, she walked over to Fang Shuo with 2 small hands and took out her phone, pouting and asking. So, Fang Shuo, is it convenient to add a V message? Fang Shuo looked at Qiaoyingzi's cute face and calmly took out his phone. I'll scan you. After the addition was completed, Qiaoyingzi looked at the interface that passed the verification, and a sweet smile appeared on her cherry lips. Auntie, I'll go home first. Okay, pay attention to safety on the way. Got it. After finishing speaking, she looked at Fang Shuo again and said in a small clip sound that only the two of them could hear. Then I'll leave first, goodbye new classmate. Walking up to the door, Qiaoyingzi took a quick glance at the kitchen and then winked at Fang Shuo. Goodbye. Fang Shuo returned and closed the door, his mouth slightly curled up. This girl is quite cute. After washing the dishes, Tong Wenjie walked up to Fang Shuo. Shuo, have you finished tidying up your house? Do you want to stay with Auntie for now and go back when it's done? Pack up now, I'll go back in a little while. Upon hearing Fang Shuo's answer, Tong Wenjie nodded slightly. After moving over, you need to study hard. If you have anything to do, you must tell your aunt. Auntie will help you, as well as your Uncle Fang. Listening to Tong Wenjie's words, Fang Shuo didn't take it seriously. But he still nodded. Tong Wenjie felt some palpitations in her heart when she saw Fang Shuo being so sensible. She reached out and hugged Fang Shuo. Don't take on anything alone in the future, you know. Auntie, Uncle Fang Yuan, and Fang Yifan are all your family members. Tong Wenjie's delicate body was rubbing against Fang Shuo's body at this moment. Fang Shuo, who rubbed against it, once again demonstrated his majesty. Auntie, can't you dress properly? Fang Shuo thought to himself. Alright, it's getting late now. I'll drive you back. Tong Wenjie said after releasing Fang Shuo. Drive the car to Tangchen Yiping community near Chunfeng Middle School. Tong Wenjie drove with some concern, but when she arrived at the entrance of the community, she got up on her own. Welcome homeowners home. Hearing this voice, she felt a little excited in her heart. Shuo is really the owner of Tangchen First Class. She glanced at Fang Shuo next to her, her face calm. Put away the car. Tong Wenjie wanted to take the stairs for the first time. Take a good look here. After all, she has never seen villas like Tangchen Yiping, and she also wants to be familiar with the situation near the Shuo family below. However, not a single layer was taken. Hush. When walking up the stairs, Tong Wenjie was so excited that she sprained her foot. Seeing this, Fang Shuo immediately helped her up. Auntie, how do you feel? At this moment, Tong Wenjie's soft and tender body collapsed like water on Fang Shuo's body. Even her charming place is now in close contact with Fang Shuo. Fang Shuo saw Tong Wenjie moaning in her mouth, so he had to help her into the villa and make plans again. On the leather sofa, he took off the high heels for Tong Wenjie. Touching the delicate jade feet of Tong Wen, he grasped the delicate ankle on his smooth heel. The injury is not mild. I'll call Matewan and come over and apply some ointment first. No need, Shuo, I can do it. Auntie, if this injury is not treated quickly, it will take at least 2 weeks to start. What will you do with your work? Fang Shuo calmly analyzed. Upon hearing this, Tong Wenjie nodded in agreement. Quickly, the delivery guy brought the ointment over. After rubbing the medicine against his palm, Fang Shuo grabbed Tong Wenjie's fair and rosy little feet. Rub it with your hands and occasionally add a slight gravitational force to absorb it. Hiss Shuo, please be gentle auntie, it hurts. Fang Shuo paid no attention at all. Tong Wenjie couldn't move him, but she thought of Fang Shuo, a boy who was so intimate in massaging her ankles. She blushed and dialed Song Qian's phone number. Song Qian, come on, I'm almost done. Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Tong Wenjie's delicate feet, plump and beautiful. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lightly, Shuo, auntie really can't bear such a heavy load. Tong Wenjie looked at Fang Shuo with a hint of grievance. Fang Shuo was completely lazy and continued to massage her before letting go. Ding dong. Upon hearing the doorbell, Fang Shuo calmly opened the door. Song Qian, with a long ponytail and a unique appearance, immediately rushed in. Wenjie. Are you okay? It's nothing, it's just that I accidentally sprained my foot while going upstairs. How could you be so careless? What a big person. You can still fall when you go upstairs. Let me take a look. Song Qian squatted down and picked up Tong Wenjie's injured ankle, lifting and lowering it for a while also tapping a few parts. Her plump figure was perfectly displayed when squatting down, whether it was the grandeur of black casual wear that could not be concealed, or the full buttock skirt. All of them showcase the unique charm of this mature female beauty teacher who has been struggling on the front line for many years. Don't say it, it's quite serious. Fortunately, this ointment was applied in a timely manner. Otherwise, it would take as little as 2 weeks, and as much as 2 to 3 months. Song Qian stood up and lifted her hand to wipe the delicate beads of sweat on her forehead. Even such a small gesture made it impossible to ignore the trembling of her wife-like charm. But it hurt so much just now. Tong Wenjie pouted and coquettishly played with her long-time best friend, paired with her blushing face, which truly had a unique charm. Just be content. I've been a physics teacher for so many years, and in your situation, if you don't put in some effort, you'll have to deal with it later. Song Qian shook her hand and smiled at Tong Wenjie. Hey, who is this? Seeing that Tong Wenjie was fine, she looked at Fang Shuo. Oh, my best friendly Feng son, a college bully with a total score of 700 in last semester's exam, is also going to transfer to the Yingzi class. Tong Wenjie looked at Fang Shuo's handsome and delicate face, and unconsciously smiled with a hint of pride at the corner of her mouth. 700 points. Oh my goodness, no wonder my former colleague told me to be mentally prepared. Song Qian was very shocked and smiled at Fang Shuo, saying, Fang Shuo, I am your classmate Qiaoyingzi's mother. My name is Song Qian. Hello auntie. Fang Shuo smiled politely. Hey, if you can score 700 points, you will definitely be a pillar of talent in the future. My Yingzi is in the same class as you, so you can communicate and learn more in your daily life. Song Qian smiled at Fang Shuo and said. Being with a top student like Fang Shuo, Yingzi's grades can definitely take her to the next level. Yingzi has finally met a decent opponent. She is very happy. Fang Shuo nodded politely after listening. Oh my, don't hit me for being a godson anymore. He just met Yingzi and had already said hello. The two children also added WeChat. Tong Wenjie saw Song Qian's happy expression at the corner of her mouth, and she immediately said with a wicked smile. Really? That's great, hee, don't you tell me earlier if you have such a godson. My young man has been the top student in my grade for almost 3 years. Ah, I feel lonely just thinking about it, ha ha ha. Song Qian finished speaking in a foul voice and immediately burst into laughter. Look at how beautiful you are. Tong Wenjie was about to get up, and Fang Shuo took a step forward to help her sit on the leather sofa. The cool air blown by the adaptive air conditioning in the villa and the negative ion air converter make the air quality of the entire house feel like it's in the wilderness of breathing. At this moment, Song Qian looked at the luxurious decoration in the room and exclaimed. This Tang Chenipin is the most expensive residential area near Chunfeng Middle School. Oh, it's still a villa. I didn't expect it to be so luxurious inside. Fang Shuo didn't agree with this. As a traveler, having a villa is normal. Alright, Shuo, look at your house ready. Auntie, let's go first. Remember to rest early at night and wake up early tomorrow to go to school. Tong Wenjie observed Fang Shuo's villa and then instructed. Don't worry, auntie. I will take care of myself. Fang Shuo's still calm answer reassured Tong Wenjie. It's better to have a master's degree, as one who is young is more stable. Fang Yifan needs to be able to achieve half the level of a master's or master's degree in learning. Sigh. Upon hearing Tong Wenjie's words, Song Qian was greatly surprised. She looked at Fang Shuo, who had been silent in Pingjin, and widened her eyes. This child is only 18, so he already has a villa. Her red lips parted slightly, and she looked at Fang Shuo with a wicked gaze. Oh, Song Qian, I sprained my foot. Please take me back. Tong Wenjie jumped over and hugged Song Qian, acting coquettishly. Two beauties favored by time, one slim and the other plump, are now held together, like two ripe red pomegranates moistened by spring rain. Okay, I'll take you back. Song Qian hugged Tong Wenjie's waist and said. Shuo, let's go. Rest early, good night, Fang Shuo politely smiled. After the two of them left, he didn't set the alarm and slept in bed all night. The next day. Didi, who is it? Fang Shuo, didn't you know that school starts today? I know now. Without listening to what Li Meng said later, Fang Shuo hung up directly. System, check that in. Ding. Check-in successfully, congratulations to the host for receiving a reward. 1 limited edition Bugatti Veyron. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Bugatti Veyron Suppression, serious. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Sure, upon hearing Bugatti Weilong, the corner of Fang Shuo's mouth felt a bit difficult to press. After all, this is one of the top 10 luxury sports cars in the world, with a handsome and technologically advanced body, as well as the violent and primitive engine sound during sprints. For any man, it is an absolute beloved thing. Ding ding. A phone call came in. Hello, may I ask if this is Mr. Fang Shuo from the end of the phone number? XXXX. Yes. Okay, Mr. Fang Shuo, the procedures for your limited edition Bugatti Veyron have been completed, and our staff will deliver it to your home in half an hour. Okay, I'll give you a 5-star review. Fang Shuo's mouth curved slightly, a little humorous. Hang up the phone. He washed himself up. The original owner passed the driver's license exam last year, which was a wise choice. Looking at the handsome face in the mirror, he was very satisfied. At the entrance of Chunfeng Middle School, a Ferrari drove into the campus. Many students are now looking at this Ferrari. Ji Yangyang, dressed in a professional racing car, obediently got on and off the car, directly captivating a group of fans. Everyone, look, this is Ji Yangyang, the coquettish guy. Fang Yifan walked up with a live broadcast and said. Who are you talking about? Ji Yangyang is very angry. Who asks who's naughty? You. Upon seeing this, the two immediately got into a fight. At this moment, the campus security guards also rushed over. However, a limited edition Bugatti Veyron, which is more than 5 times more expensive than Ferrari, now drifts directly into the campus due to inertia. Hey, stop fighting. Wang Yidi said to the two people writhing on the front cover of the car. Sleeping trough, Bugatti Veyron. Really? Ji Yangyang, your car is weaker than his. Who is the car owner? It's so frustrating. At the moment when Bugatti Weilong appeared, all the gaze focused on Ji Yangyang and Fang Yifan was drawn away. After stopping the car, Fang Shuo calmly got off Bugatti Veyron. Sleeping in bed, even more handsome than Wu Yanzu at Chunfeng Middle School. Oh my god, who's the prince? Sisters, do you know what class this handsome guy is in? Along the way, the admiration of countless fans and the envy, jealousy, and hatred of boys did not make Fang Shuo feel any waves. Quickly, Li Meng received notice that she was in charge of a class where someone was fighting and there was also a Ferrari and Bugatti Veyron. Fang Yifan, Ji Yangyang. How old are you people and still fighting? I like to fight so much. Let me see what you will do for the college entrance examination. Don't even look, do you have a lot of time? Li Meng, wearing high heels, strode to the scene of the accident and cursed the two of them. The two of them stood still when they saw the iron stick yam. What about Fang Shuo? After controlling the situation, Li Meng saw Fang Shuo's limited edition Bugatti Veyron. Her face instantly darkened significantly. Teacher Li Meng, Fang Shuo should go back to the classroom. He didn't fight. Qiaoyingzi saw Li Meng's face turn black and her anxious face turned red. This matter has nothing to do with you. You go back and review. Li Meng's face doesn't change color. Qiaoyingzi saw that Fang Shuo couldn't escape, and she let out a disappointed sigh as she prepared to return to the classroom. Qiaoyingzi, wait a moment. Teacher Li Meng, what's up? You are the first in the grade, that's right, but there is still 1 year left in high school. Our school has a case where we only ended up with a private school due to early love. Students should prioritize learning, do you hear me? Li Meng's serious words made Qiaoyingzi nod repeatedly. Sleeping trough, on the first day of school, Ferrari, Bugatti Veyron, and iron stick yam, have you seen their expressions? I see it. It's so black, just like iron trioxide. What are we talking about? Everyone doesn't know they're in their senior year, right? In the noisy classroom, Li Meng suppressed the scene as soon as she entered. Hurry up and read the books for me. This school entrance exam will directly determine which class you will be in next month. Fang Shuo, come with me to the office. Without hesitation, Fang Shuo calmly stood up and followed Li Meng. Isn't this Bugatti Veyron? Shit, this guy is handsome. He is so rich. Hey, Ji Yangyang, how does it feel to pretend not to be pushed down by someone? Ji Yangyang could only get angry when he heard this joke. Close the blinds. Li Meng, with her fair and beautiful skin, crossed her hands and lifted her large white shirt under a khaki professional cloak. Li Meng, who is in her 20s and 80s, is now at an age where charm and youth intertwine. Under her orange skirt, there is a piece of flesh and silk calf with full charm, and below it is a pair of unassuming high heels. This female homeroom teacher, known as Iron Stick Yam, appears to be an intellectual beauty from the outside. Fang Shuo, on the first day of transferring, he just made a name for himself. Can your grades be good? Li Meng asked sternly. The school rules do not prohibit students from driving into the school gate. Fang Shuo calmly returned. You still have reason, right? I want to see how many points you scored before transferring. Li Meng was scolded by Fang Shuo and didn't know how to respond. She walked up to her desk. Found Fang Shuo's information. She angrily opened the grade bar. Chinese 125, Mathematics 133. Total score 707. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Fang Shuo leads far away. Pure Girl King. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Far ahead. Li Meng couldn't help but tremble when she saw this excellent transcript. The eyes were full of disbelief, and the cherry mouth opened slightly. She looked at her transcript and then turned her gaze to the handsome Fang Shuo. I am puzzled by my thoughts. Fang Shuo's appearance looks like a typical 180 rich second-generation handsome sports student. How did he achieve such terrible results? She sighed and was speechless. After some thought, there was still a breath in my chest. Pop. He slapped the table and stood up. Fang Shuo, let me tell you, no matter how good your grades are, they are not a shield. She angrily pointed at Fang Shuo and said. Bada, the force was too strong, and the shopping bags in the cabinet also fell off. A set of lace and white-edged underwear fell out from inside. Fang Shuo watched this scene. Swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Not small. The scene was once extremely awkward. Li Meng's angry expression saw the underwear she had bought on the ground. The whole person has solidified. She is biting her back teeth at this moment, trying her best to ease herself a bit. You go back first, I'll talk to you about the car later. Fang Shuo left directly and kindly closed the door when he went out. Seeing this, Li Meng's angry face turned slightly red. She quickly picked up the lace lingerie and put it in a shopping bag, put it in the cabinet, and even locked it up. There's really nothing to worry about. Encountering Li Meng, Bugatti Weilong is finished. Do you think Fang Shuo will come back crying? Definitely. That's Iron Stick Yam. Fang Shuo has no idea about the foolish words of high school students. He walked into the classroom and found a vacant seat to sit down. Oh my goodness, this is only a few minutes. Why is he doing nothing? It's not scientific. A few boys looked at Fang Shuo with a calm and shocked expression. After a while, Li Meng, who had sorted out her emotions, walked in. She placed her lesson plan on the table and placed her hands directly on it. I will handle this morning's matter later. From now on, you are high school seniors. Don't let such things happen again in the future. The next year is likely to determine your future life. Do you all understand? I understand. Okay, let's welcome our new classmate Fang Shuo. Li Meng waved her hand and let Fang Shuo take the stage. Fang Shuo. Fang Shuo calmly said his name. You sit next to Wang Yidi. Seeing that Fang Shuo didn't want to talk much, Li Meng decided not to. Fang Shuo walked over to the empty seat next to Wang Yidi and sat down. Wang Yidi saw that Fang Shuo was handsome and delicate, with a hint of aloofness on his face. Suddenly, the girl's face turned slightly pink. Hello, my name is Wang Yidi. Please give me some guidance. She politely extended her hand to Fang Shuo. However, Fang Shuo just nodded. Seeing this, she pouted and turned her face towards the blackboard. Under the sunlight outside the window, Wang Yidi's tall ponytail and her snow-white face, as if she were a female celebrity, exuded an excellent temperament. Her slender figure and graceful demeanor as an art dancer, even wearing a blue school uniform, showcase her own beauty in a youthful way. After class, Fang Shuo found these high school knowledge points that he had already mastered very boring. So he started sleeping directly. In a daze, he felt a bit thirsty. Squinting his eyes, he scanned the table with his hand and touched a water cup. Without much thought, he took it and drank it all in one gulp. Immediately, he noticed that Wang Yidi beside him was looking at him with a flushed face. He could even see her thick lips, white teeth, and bright red little tongue. Fang Shuo's gaze turned and he saw the cup lid on Wang Yidi's hand. He instinctively licked his lips and then returned the water cup. Sorry. No, it's okay. Wang Yidi returned with a flushed face and lowered his head. It's time to finish school. Shuo, Aunt Song Qian is not available to pick up Yingzi from school today. Our family, Fang Yifan, is far away. Can you let go of Yingzi? Line. Fang Shuo said to Tong Wenjie, then finished chatting and hung up the phone. Did my mom ask you to give me a ride? As she turned around, Qiaoyingzi's hands bounced back and said to him. He nodded. Keep up. Fang Shuo picked up his backpack and left, followed by Qiaoyingzi, excitedly sticking out her little tongue. At the parking lot, Fang Shuo threw his backpack directly in the back seat. He sat in the driver's seat and saw Qiaoyingzi standing outside restrained. He reached out his hand. Give me your backpack. Get Qiaoyingzi's backpack and he puts it in the back seat. Upon seeing this, two cute dimples appeared on Qiaoyingzi's small face. He sat on the passenger seat with his lips slightly pursed. Delivered to the Shuxiang Yayuan, Fang Shuo pushed open the door. Qiaoyingzi took her backpack and took a step, tearing her pants apart. Fang Shuo looked at her slender and fair calves and the girl's thighs, which had already begun to have a fleshy texture, and even saw the small bear pattern on the white triangle. So white. Qiaoyingzi's face burned like a small sun in an instant. Fang Shuo calmed down and immediately took off his school uniform jacket and tied it around her waist. When he was tied, he accidentally bumped into the little bear on his face, causing Qiaoyingzi to bite her fingers and blush uncontrollably. Thank you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Qiaoyingzi, who is full of energy. OL uniform. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Come on, eat this. I gave a piece of meat to Qiaoyingzi, and Song Qian smiled more unsightly than crying. Thank you, Mom. Qiaoyingzi happily took the meat and kept cooking with her cherry lips. Yingzi, Mom has always believed in you. Although you are already 18 years old and theoretically an adult, now in your third year of high school, time is tight and tasks are heavy. You can't walk too close to boys, you know. Song Qian looked at Qiaoyingzi's men's school uniform jacket and said sourly. Upon hearing Song Qian's words, Qiaoyingzi stopped the dishes in her hand. In the morning, I was told by Li Meng, and when I got home, I was told by my mother again. Her little face instantly turned pink. Mom, I didn't have early love. Did I say you fell in love early? What are you doing so loudly? What's wrong with your coat without early love? It grows on your waist by itself. Song Qian also knocked on the dishes and pointed to the coat tied to Qiaoyingzi's body, saying. Qiaoyingzi listened to Song Qian's words and bit her cherry lips tightly, looking pitifully at her. Tears as big as beans fell from her agile little eyes. Mom, so you just don't believe me, do you? So what are you saying about this coat? Okay, I'll tell you what's going on. Qiaoyingzi nodded angrily as she listened to Song Qian's words. She pulled open the coat that Fang Shuo had tied around her waist. Expose her accidentally torn pants, her snow-white thighs with rosy luster and white edges. I accidentally tore my pants, and Fang Shuo kindly lent me his coat. So that's how you think, you're my biological mother. Upon seeing this, Song Qian picked up her chopsticks. Go change your pants, the clothes will be sent back tomorrow. On the comfortable big bed, Fang Shuo slept soundly under the blanket. Ding ding ding. Pick up your phone and see the call note. Auntie. Fang Shuo's aunt is Andy, a talented student who has returned from Wall Street abroad. He answered the phone. Auntie, what's up? Xiao Shuo, I've settled in. Are you still used to coming to Kyoto? Well, it's okay. That's good, give me your address so I can come and see you tomorrow when I'm free. Okay. Hang up the phone, Fang Shuo went to the restroom to wipe his face. Andy, as his aunt, the last time they met was when he went abroad to study. At that time, she was already a huge fan in high school. Everyone in the grade knows that there is an extremely rational goddess of temperament who refuses to enter. Later, Andy also succeeded in getting into Harvard and eventually became a senior white-collar worker on Wall Street. Now, in order to help my old friend, I went to China a few days ago. I don't know what's going on with Auntie now. Teacher Li Meng, my aunt came to see me today and I'm taking a day off. Thank you. Fang Shuo, you can watch it again tonight. It's high school seniors now. Hey. He was too lazy to listen to Li Meng's words, so he hung up the phone after taking leave. This Fang Shuo is really hopeless. Li Meng patted the phone in her hand onto the table and lay on the chair, feeling suffocated. It was the first time she had seen a student who couldn't do anything about him. The most uncomfortable thing is that Fang Shuo's grades are particularly good. One more year, I see when you can pull it. Li Meng finished reading angrily and continued writing lesson plans. The doorbell rang, and Fang Shuo walked to the door to open it. Xiao Shuo, long time no see. In front of him, Andy is wearing a black OL professional uniform, with a mature and intellectual beauty face under big waves. Her curvaceous figure exudes a charming charm under the OL uniform, while the intellectual temperament emanating from her body is incredibly charming. A pair of matte black high heels further showcased her unique charm as a cold and icy beauty. Long time no see. Fang Shuo's sincere smile. He gave Andy a restrained hug directly. I have grown taller and matured. How are my grades? Andy looked at Fang Shuo, who was handsome and tall at 185, and said with some pride. As she spoke, she began to observe Fang Shuo's villa, looking at the low-key in luxurious decoration style. She always wears a shallow smile at the corner of her mouth. Not bad, last time I took the final exam at 707, I ranked first in my grade. Fang Shuo calmly followed Andy. Andy nodded. Not bad, it has the style of my aunt back then. This house is fine, and the decoration is also very tasteful. I just bought it recently. Fang Shuo explained that Andy smiled proudly. She is a figure who can dominate Wall Street. For her nephew Fang Shuo, she naturally believes that he has this ability. Auntie, if needed, the door is always open. It would be great if you said that. By the way, have you eaten yet? Fang Shuo shook his head. That one. Going downstairs, Andy drove a Mercedes-Benz 911 and took him to a 5-star hotel. Hey, Andy. Miss Fan, this is my nephew, Fang Shuo. Andy saw Fan Shengmei and generously introduced Fang Shuo. Andy, your nephew is really handsome. How old is your little brother this year? Have you found a girlfriend? Fan Shengmei looked at Fang Shuo with charming eyes, holding her proud capital with one hand and spinning her hair with the other. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Fan Shengmei. You did it, whatever you do. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Listening to Fan Shengmei's teasing, Fang Shuo remained unmoved. Fan Xiaomei, you're joking. Xiao Shuo is still young, only 18 this year, and still a student. Fan Shengmei listened to Andy's serious introduction, but her eyes still exuded charm. Oh, it's not small anymore, it's quite big. She turned her face to one side, with a delicate baby fat-like expression beneath her bangs. Two peach blossom eyes slowly shifted from looking at Fang Shuo's face to his lower body. She is wearing a black little mom dress today, with a plump figure and her face that is white and red. Underneath her stunning face, there is still a natural charm and allure. A pair of open-toed high heels adorned her smooth and snow-white feet. The fleshy legs, paired with a slender waist like a willow branch, create a naturally plump figure. Fan Shengmei looks like a ripe peach by the spring river after being soaked in the drizzle of time. Not only does it look fresh and juicy, but it is also very delicious. Is being 18 also considered old? Andy looked at Fang Shuo in confusion. Does 18 already count as an adult in China? Fang Shuo remained silent. Big, of course big. At my age like Xiao Shuo, I can't even fit love letters under the table. Fan Shengmei spoke softly under her red lips. The voices are full of femininity. Xiao Shuo is so handsome, should he be in a relationship? No, he's so big, there should be more than one, right? Fan Shengmei was extremely excited as she bit her rosy and translucent lower lip with her teeth. No, thank you for your concern. Fang Shuo calmly answered. No. Sister, look for it for you, I guarantee you like it. Fan Shengmei patted her magnificent group with her fair hands. Directly stirred up one wave after another of huge waves. Is it the same way of joking in China now? Andy asked Fang Shuo in confusion. The three of them went to the table and ate for a while. Okay, I'll go over now. Andy hung up his phone and the two people in front of him said. My company still has some matters to handle, Fan Xiaomei, I'll leave it to you, Xiao Shuo. Okay, no problem. Don't spoil him. Don't worry, Andy, I'm so good. Andy smiled helplessly and paid the bill before leaving. Fang Shuo was eating, and Fan Shengmei had more thoughts in her heart. Under the dining table, her beautiful foot touched Fang Shuo. Little handsome guy, can you drink alcohol? Fang Shuo lifted his head and looked at her. A little bit. Fan Shengmei held her face with both hands in an incredibly charming manner. Please have a drink, sister, be poor. Fang Shuo spoke frankly. Humorous, Fan Shengmei disdained a smile and stroked her bangs with her jade hand painted with red nail polish. Fang Shuo checked the time and found that it had been 24 hours since the last check.in. System, check.in and clock in. Ding. Host check.in successful. Reward. Blue Ocean Bar, Top Kyoto Bar, ... The pocket suddenly became a bit heavy. He reached in and found a keychain. Look at the style, it's the type of door in the bar. Upon seeing this, Fang Shuo skillfully pulled his backpack over and unzipped it. After seeing several notebooks, he flipped through them and found the bar's business license and other ownership documents. Without making a sound, he put the keychain in, and the corners of his mouth curled slightly. What are you flipping through? The math final question assigned by the teacher. Why, does Sister Fan also want to take a look? Fang Shuo is humorous. No, no, no. Fan Shengmei instantly changed her face. Auntie has left, and I also want to find a good place. Drinking alcohol. Sure, Blue Ocean Bar. Fang Shuo took a sip of water. Humph, don't tease me, little brother. Blue Ocean is the top bar in Kyoto. And they don't need children under 20 years old to go. Fan Shengmei sneered contemptuously. You're afraid. Fang Shuo smiled lightly. Me. I would be afraid of you, an 18-year-old child. Hee hee, okay, let's go to the Blue Ocean Bar. Seeing Fan Shengmei take the bait, Fang Shuo stood up. The entrance of the Blue Ocean Bar is extremely tense. Go home, baby, Fan Shengmei joked to Fang Shuo. As a result, he directly held her hand and walked inside. There was no obstruction from security personnel along the way. Fang Shuo found a VIP card seat and sat down. Are you crazy? This is a VIP card seat. The minimum cost for this table starts at 100,000 yuan. After Fang Shuo let go of her hand, Fan Shengmei whispered in fear to Fang Shuo. What, are you afraid? Fang Shuo still smiled lightly. Humph, I still have some savings. But when Andy sees you here later, you're done. Fang Shuo just nodded at Fan Shengmei. In no time, the bar manager walked over with a group of bartenders. Fan Shengmei is ready to leave directly. Hello, Mr. Fang. Mr. Fang, are you enjoying yourself today? 3 bottles of spades were opened without even thinking about it. Fang Shuo smiled lightly at Fan Shengmei. Drinking alcohol. Fan Shengmei was confused. How could it be? How old is he? I understand now, he's just lying. Fan Shengmei suddenly remembered a scam. Humph, those few were hired by you, right? If you want to make a fool of me, just say that my little brother doesn't have much money in his pocket and has a lot of thought. Fang Shuo listened to her words and only took a slight sip of wine. You're in a hurry. Listening to Fang Shuo's words, she is indeed in a hurry. I have been an HR in the Fortune Global 500 for many years, and I was actually talked about by an 18-year-old child like this. Why am I in a hurry? If that's the case, what kind of Mr. Fang are you? You can have all the girls on that stage take turns dancing. Fang Shuo lay on the chair, his mouth slightly curled up. What should I do if I do it? Whatever you do, it's up to you. Fan Shengmei spoke up. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.